Dennis, welcome to Porto. It's a great pleasure to have you here in Foramen Dental Education. I think we have two great days. The last 2 days are amazing.
Yes, thank you for having me here, and it's a pleasure to be here. I think we had 2 really amazing days, and it's a pleasure working with you.
Thank you so much. My experience with these 2 days and the feedback that I have from the participants are amazing. People are completely excited with the device, like I feel the first time I talk with you, when you explained me the advantage that I have to using the EndoCowboy. And I think the people can feel the same feeling that I have in that time.
That's great. So that makes us really happy because we put so much effort into the device and finally see that it's not only working in one hand or in our hand, since we spend so much time with it, seeing it working in other people's hand, and that other participants have this success of this great satisfaction of removing a file. That's really, it's a satisfaction for us, so we're really happy about that.
And you deserve that. One important thing I face with the participants, and when I invite people to come, they think probably it's one more device to have in my practice. And I feel that people in the end of the course, they really understand the advantage to have the EndoCowboy in their own practice. For me, it's amazing device. It can change completely my way to remove the files in a more conservative way.
Yeah, and I think so too, and I'm really happy that people realize that, because of course we can talk a lot about file retrieval and we can talk a lot about what are the benefits of the EndoCowboy, but I think really at the end you have to feel the difference. You have to experience what it is to really have these benefits of the wire, which has been really improved compared to the traditional wires we used before in the lasso technique. So it's great to see that this time we put into improving and developing the wire is really paying off. It's a great thing. So I think the whole thing and that's why these courses, these hands-on courses are so great, because you can actually see, you work in a group and you achieve great things, and it's such a great feeling to see a group, how we start off, and at the end, like I think almost everyone removed a file and from his tooth, and that's a great thing.
Yes,
I'd love to see that.
And one interesting thing that some of the colleagues that come to the course, they have another device, another techniques, and they feel the same I feel, because I use these same devices, and the weakness point is the loop. And with EndoCowboy I can feel more confident to face these kind of situations, because I know that it's going to work, because the wire it's completely different. I can make pressure, it doesn't feel that the wire is going to break like you feel in the other situations.
Yeah, it's a different experience.
Yes.
When you have more confidence and not always having the fear that the wire is going to break.
Yes.
So I think this gives you just a different feeling, and you really it changes a lot. I think it's a really game changer in this matter, because it was so frustrating, and that's why we actually started off with the idea of improving the techniques that were available, and that is basically the idea why we did the EndoCowboy, because we haven't been satisfied with the systems that were available. So we really, that was our goal, that we go and change the wire, because we also saw that this was one of the weak points, and we wanted to have consumables, so changeable lasso tips, so that you reduce the cost per treatment. Yes. And we wanted to have the possibility of changing sizes, because it's a different thing if I want to remove a file from a coronal part, I want a lasso which is really strong, and if I'm going like more to the apical part of the root, I want to get smaller and smaller. And this is why we have like the big wire for the upper parts, and then for the mid parts we have the middle wire, the 0.1 wire, and for the apical parts, for the really little small files, we have the super thin lasso. And that's the idea.
Yes, and the incredible thing, it's in your videos when we see the patient moving their head, and in the training when you do the case in extracted teeth with a very difficult file to remove, and participants see that how much tension you apply in the wire and they doesn't break. It's incredible, and I think it's the way that people understand how important is this change in their practice.
Yeah, I think it's really the participants who have some experience in already in file retrieval and have maybe already been using a different device, another loop or other file retrieval systems. They really can see the difference pretty early in the game. So
yes.
Because you know how sensitive a loop was before, and I think it's we could show that very good in this course, that we choose blocks with files that were not just like slightly pushed in.
Yes.
We had some files where you really
very difficult to remove it. Yeah.
We really had to pull a lot.
And you see your hands and your fingers pushing,
white.
getting white. Yeah. It's incredible. And another interesting thing is concept to work in team. For me, in the beginning, I think no, but probably it's not going to work. I need to explain to someone how it's work. I prefer to work alone. But after your explanation, after you try the device, you understand how important is to be focused in the file, and you have your assistant to giving you help. They take part of this adventure to take the file out. It's amazing. It
becomes a teamwork. And
yes.
It's funny. We had so many discussions about exactly that topic, because a lot of colleagues, like, the first thing they said, like, yeah, but I don't want my assistant to do it. I want to do it by myself. And somehow I sometimes think that as dentists, we always have this feeling we have to do everything by ourselves. But it's such a benefit to give that away, because actually we can only really focus on one thing. And especially when we want to remove files, this placing the lasso around the file and doing these really like careful movements and the right movements, the technique, it's really, especially at the beginning, you have to really concentrate on it. And I think it's so good that you can give that away, and you can really focus on the most important thing, and that is getting the file out, placing the lasso around the file. And what is really funny is, at least that's what I hear after some people then tried it, and at the beginning they are very skeptical. They all say like, I don't know, I want to do it by myself.
I understand.
And then after some training, they realize, okay, it's so great, because they get a feedback. I can really only focus on placing the loop. And then my assistant, I can tell her, okay, now I want it closed, and she starts to turn the wheel, and she will tell you, okay, I feel a resistance coming there. I feel some friction.
Yes.
And then you really can communicate what's happening there. And at the end, when you retrieve the file, you will realize that your assistant is almost as excited as we are when we take out the file, because it's a teamwork. You did it together. Yes. And you know that endo sometimes can be like, I don't know, for some I think it's not the most, for some assistants it's not the most favorite treatment, because it can be boring. And I think this is really important, including them in the game, including them in the task that we do there. And I think it's much more fulfilling if you have this feeling of being a part of it and being more involved in that. I think, and at the end, this is what a lot of people said. They see the benefit and they said like, yeah, and then it's, you know, it's funny, but it's much more involving. They are like, I have the feeling that they are much more excited when we do it together than if they do it alone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And another interesting thing, in that way you can feel what's happened with your cannula, because you are very focused. You can put your finger and feel the file moving. Yeah. It's a different concept that you found in another devices. The way you pick your EndoCowboy, the way you pick your cannula, it's completely different, and it's more anatomical way. And you can feel better things what's going to happen inside your root canal.
At the beginning, it's sometimes, you saw it, like everybody wants to like hold the EndoCowboy a bit differently, but it's really important, because this was also what we found out in doing the testing and developing. And I think I always thought this was a big drawback in the other systems, because you don't have the tactile feedback, and that's so important when you want to remove file, because you want to know what's going on. Then if you need your fingers for taking care of the lasso tension, you don't have a finger free for feeling the tip. And so what we realized, first of all, you have much more control placing the lasso, because you don't have this big distance towards your cannula. So by holding it like I showed today and yesterday, and always having one finger on the cannula is giving you so much more control over the cannula and the loop and the lasso.
And the movements you can do.
And the movements, exactly. Yeah. You can give the force much directer to the file than you could do when you are just holding the device much more with a bigger distance towards the file. And what we want to do by retrieving a file is we want to like somehow see the cannula as a longer piece of the file.
Yes, it's amazing. Another interesting thing, but probably it's happened because you are a clinician and you are an engineer, and you join both important areas. You know what you need, but you know what you need to do to have this result. And I think it's the most incredible thing, because I think the main drawback you found in some situations that the companies develop the devices, but it doesn't know what the clinician needs.
Yeah, they haven't been really on a patient most of the
time.
And that is, I think we all know that. All the clinicians know that some products, we sometimes ask ourselves, okay, have you ever been really on a patient trying that? Because there are great ideas out there, but some just in everyday work, or in everyday life, they don't work. And I think, of course, I think it helped us a lot that we have this both point of views combined there. And if you, I mean, in endo, you are every day you're actually facing these challenges, and like really it took my sleep finding a solution for that. And that one of these challenges was taking out files, because in every day, you know that when you really are focusing on the endodontics, you see a lot of broken files, and you've seen the numbers. It's pretty impressive, and I think that's really a thing we should take care of as endodontists. Like
of course. And in the market, we have a lot of ultrasonic tips, a lot of devices that can help you. But the main drawback is to find a very effective loop system. You have homemade loop system. You have a lot of brands from loop systems, but the ideas are amazing. But the final result is always the same, the loop breakage. Because you need to have the file completely free inside the root canal. You need to lose a lot of tooth structure. And with your idea, with your concept, I think you can change the way we approach the cases. and for me, it's made me more confident. Next time I have a patient, I know that I can solve the problem because I can use my ultrasonic unity tips, I can use or my sonic tips,
Yes.
and I can have a very effective loop system, and it's bring me more confidence.
Yes, I think so. It's the solution is combining the techniques, and at the end, it's like always when I saw these, these sometimes these helpless, how do you say that? This, if you really try to solve a problem and you build your own loop with the cannula. And I mean, we are professionals. We want professional tools. If we do it every day, I think it's really nice to have a professional tool where you know you have it in your drawer and you can set it up in a quick time. That in everyday business, we don't have the time to take maybe half an hour to prepare a self-made loop. That's
Yes.
Of course, it's great if there is no system out there, but I think really with the thoughts towards this, it's really nice to have a device
I think it's important to have a system that any colleague can use it with same result. Because I know a lot of colleagues that can use homemade loops and they work amazing.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's not working the same way.
Yeah.
And for my colleague, doesn't work in the same way. I think it's important to have a technique that can all dentists then using same steps, same technique, obtain the same result.
Yeah, that's repeatable.
Yes.
And it's what I said today is I really mean it. When you see somebody do something really great, and it's nice to see that, but I want to do it by myself. I want to be able to repeat that, and I think if we manage to take out a file one time, that's nice, that's beautiful. But what we want to do is we want to have a predictable technique and a devices that can help us really repeat these successes. And I think this is really important. And I really believe that it's not an easy thing to remove files. I think it's really one of the harder challenges we have in endo. But it's great to have. I mean, you have to train.
Yes,
you really have to train that. It's not that you
in 5 minutes
device and you try it one time and then you're the master
of
endo file retrieval. It's endo.
Yeah.
There is no file on the market or in the world, or no technique that allows you to be the master of endodontics after
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
It would be frustrating for us, I think, once we put so much time and effort and passion into that. So I think really the goal was to bring a tool to the market which helps us to make a hard challenge easier and to help us to manage this challenge.
And I need to thank you about this amazing idea, about this great wire you can bring, and they help to remove files that can make the procedure more effective. And thank you so much. You have a great, amazing idea with the device. And I'm waiting for more ideas from you.
Thank you. They will come. And the biggest applause for us is really if we can see that this idea we had there works in other hands.
Yes.
And that people are happy about having this device. This is, for us, that's the most satisfying thing, that you see it's our baby and you put so much energy in it, and when you see it's not about, it's really you want to see it work in other hands. That's the most beautiful thing.
And yesterday and today you see it.
Yes. It was really I mean, it was a great time. We really enjoyed it so much here in Porto, and it's really, it has been 2 great days.
Thank you so much for your coming here. We need to organize more events like this one.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Yes, of course.
Hopefully in summer when,
Yes,
when the weather
yes,
is
with the better
when
weather.
the sun is
Yeah.
out. I think this is a beautiful place. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dennis.
Hugo, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, thank you.